This is Tim the Bishop. January the 17th. Oh my gosh, it's January 17th. And it's 1994. Is today January 17th? Yeah, it is, because it's Monday and it's our last day of our vacation. And then I didn't realize how much I really wanted to go back to school and see Jamie Thorne until I realized that it's snowing outside and it's icing and it's everything. So we might be getting out of school tomorrow, so there's good either way. If we go to school, I get to see Jamie. If we don't, we get to stay home. Now there's anything to do, you know, might as well. Just leave it here for a minute, because I'm kind of phone hunting. Today I walked down to the... I went to get the mail. I walked down to the bank to look at the temperature on the thing. And there was traffic out there. That was making me mad. Well, I was trying to walk along. There was traffic. And probably somebody from the high school driving by staring at me. Probably knew right who I was just because of how I walked and the clothes that I was wearing. I tried to keep that hat over my face, but just somebody saw me out there and called me crazy. They're going to be coming out to high school tomorrow saying, "Tim, you were walking out in the snow. What the heck were you doing that for?" Because I nearly fell one time. All I was going to see was the temperature. Wouldn't think there'd be that many people driving around this time of day, you know. Anyway, so what else did we... Well, anyway, Mom was cooking some eggs this morning, and she found out that she didn't have any eggs is what happened, because she had cooked the bacon first, and then she had the biscuits, and she was going to go to cook the eggs, and then realized she only had 3, so we could have gone out to the store to get some eggs, but there was ice all over the roads, remember, so I decided, well, I didn't decide anything first. Mom decided, well, she can't drive down to that place. Well, what she did was she decided she would try to at first, so she got out of her car. But anyway, she went out of her car and skidded right off, and then so she came back. So, she said she skidded around the circle. I didn't see it, so then he told her, "Why don't you try to take the Jimmy?" And she was trying to tell him about how the thick ice and everything, and how it would take forever to defrost. So she started it anyway after enough of this complaining and all this. Because what I had done in the middle of this was decided, well, why don't we just walk? And I thought that was a pretty good idea. I thought it was too. I figured, what could it hurt? It couldn't hurt anything. We're not talking about going to the store. We're talking about getting eggs. I mean, well, it's not that either. It's just and what's not, or who's gonna get sick. We're talking about getting. Well, I don't know. Anyway, he just didn't want Mom to go out because she would get sick again. But is it more likely that someone who's just been sick is going to get sick again, or is it more likely that someone who's been well for a long time is going to get sick? You know, like most people believe that if you flip a coin, get 3 times in a row, you get hit already. Okay, I'm back. Ashley came in here. She was watching Full House or something. I was kind of upset at first. Well, I'm never going to record another part if all done with that. Oh, I'm tired. So finally, when after a big battle between her and Steve over whether we should walk or whether we should take the Jimmy, finally the ice thawed out on the Jimmy, so we took the Jimmy up there. Mom and I went, and we went up there and bought some eggs and 2 lottery tickets. So I don't know if those are winners yet, but she'll probably come back and look. I don't know. Well, anyway, is anything else happening? See, I'm talking louder now because I have this thing turned all the way up. You know, it'd be even better. It'd be even better when the fan comes on. I'm sorry for talking so stupidly. Wait. That is Tears for Fears. I knew it. That's not ABBA. That's Tears for Fears. Please forgive me. Wait a minute. I'm not even holding these things, am I? Well, you can still hear me, can't you? Anyway, see, I got Swiss cake rolls here. So. Let me just say that butt pork roast one. You know. Okay, I slept on the couch last night. About all I've done downstairs this weekend is watch Mom or Steve or Mary or somebody play Tetris too. I got up this morning, she was playing, and she got level 35. Anyway, well, I wish I would quit saying anyway, Like on October 3rd, I kept on saying, like, well, what are you supposed to do? You know? Or what is she supposed to do? You know? Or what are you supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? You know? What is he supposed to do? You know? What are they supposed to do? You know? Ooh, hate it. Now I know what I meant on October 10th about that, because I didn't even start on the second side. Tape ain't no good. Neither is May 23rd. It's just a neat date. 23 is a cool number. I used to love that number. I don't know what my favorite number is now. Probably 9. If it's the highest single digit. Anyway. But anyway, now that I'm so deeply in love with Jamie, I'm kind of totally over him. And I'm totally over Rydia, too. I've been over Rydia. I never really was in love with her to begin with. Maybe I was at one time or another when I heard the song Would I Lie to You? Like, see, for some reason that makes me think of her, because when I heard it and recorded it the first time, that's when I was in love with her. The little bit that I had, huh? See, you can't be in love with two people at one time. You gotta throw one out and say, well, I never was in love with her to begin with. Maybe it's just because you don't want to admit it, you know. Of course, then again, sometimes it's a stupid circumstances where you just can't say it altogether. You wind up having to say crap like, well, I never was in love with her, you know, because if Mary ever found out that I was in love with Rydia, she'd kill me. I'm sure she hates Rydia just as much as she hates the song. Probably. Talking about her hair and stuff like that. Shoot. You can't judge a book by its cover. And, oh, well, of course, then again, that's about all you have to judge them by, except with Final Fantasy 2, it's different. She says these other games where, you know, how am I supposed to know whether Raiden's a nice guy or not? You can't judge a book by its cover. And you can find out about their personality and how they talk. And, well, you don't need to know how they talk, or you need to know what they say and when they make smart remarks or if they don't. No. A lot of characters are just neutral. They're nice and they're giving, but they're just neutral. You know, the more interesting people like Rydia and Edge and people like that get smart with everybody. People would say like right on or dude or let's go, stuff like that. And I guess how a person talks has a lot to do with his personality too, but the only problem with making them talk on video games is sometimes you won't understand what they're saying and you can't keep up with it, you know. And you can't have a button that tells you to repeat it, you know, that's stupid. That's not stupid, but I don't know. So what if you don't understand what they're... Well, you can, you have to be able to understand them. It's like watching movies, you only get one chance to understand what they're saying. So I guess the video games have to be that way too. But then there's some little kids that watch them, you know. I don't know. Dang it. My dang throat is just not giving me any breaks anymore these days. Just don't see enough of them anymore. Let's see what's on the radio. Up the system of the Bishop. January the 17th, 1994. And, wait a minute. I think I got a big burp coming. I just gotta sit up to get it. Well, that was pretty good. It's kind of loud and nasty. Swiss cake is coming up with it. Mixed in with a little Diet Coke. I'll never forget that night I was at home and I did the... See, man, that... well, I was eating pecan fannies and drinking Coke, and then when I burped, I barfed some up, and there was some on the carpet, so, and it was white. But that stupid tape on the year-end review that I did, that tape twisted itself up. I don't know how it did that, but it did that, man. It's making me mad, too, because I can figure out why it's doing that. Oh, well, Mom and Steve had a bunch of fried chicken when we got back, too, so that's what we did when we first got back, is we ate some fried chicken. And I got my new Nintendo Power with Mega Man in it. And that, oh my gosh. That's what I forgot. Jeez, of course. How could I forget about that? How dare I forget about that? Those images, those little images in the Nintendo Power, they had those little things where you can, like, look at them, and and when you cross your eyes, you can see a 3D image. And the reason that works is because what's in front of your right eye is different than what's in front of your left eye, and you can tell that by holding your finger in front of your face. When you close one eye and look at it out of one eye, it's in a different place. So that's how they gotta do these two things, make them in different places. So when you cross your eyes, what you see is in the same place, but it's two different things. So that's what you gotta see there. So when you cross your eyes, you're combining the two. I don't know who discovered that, but it turns out that what you see is a 3D image of, like, Yoshi, and it looks like he's carved into it, sort of. It's kind of cool. But anyway, dang, this tape's gonna be so boring, man. Started out pretty good to throw memories at you there left and right until I finally ran out. I mean, didn't we do anything today at all besides ride to the store and get eggs in the ice? Well, yeah, I told you about how I walked up there and I was so PO'd about all the traffic being there and crap like that. And I don't know. I'm just kind of mad about that because it's like somebody's going to come into school and say, what were you doing walking around in the snow? I ought to have a good mind to ask them, what were you doing driving around in the snow? It just was a propriato for crying out loud. I just now thought of that. It'd make me mad. It'd make me especially mad if Jamie Farrell was out there. She'd be Like, well, I knew that boy was crazy, but I didn't know he was that crazy. Then she'd never go out with me. Not that I wanted to in the first place. Shoot, I wouldn't know the first thing to do if we got out together. Can't even look her in the eye, first of all. So Dad blasted shy, doesn't make a difference, you know. As if this were not enough, you know. I'd be a pretty well-rounded out person if I weren't so blasted shy. Gotta work on it. Just gotta do it. Gotta do it right, and I gotta do it right the first time, and I gotta just do it right. I don't know. I don't know what to do my entertaining speech about. Shoot, I think it's next month. Gotta think for a minute. Well, I mean, I got lots of time, but not as much as it seems. Pretty soon that dang King Lear crap's gonna be due. The stuff she's making us do on that. I haven't even started on it. And now it's probably the time that we should have been doing the most stuff and doing most of our work. I wrote in my diary that I knew I wasn't going to be reading any of it over the 4-day weekend. I knew I'd be too lazy. But I'm just going to have to wait till there's only 1 week left, and then when you put some pressure on me, I'll start fighting. I don't know why I don't do it while I have it now. It's just if it's not an obligation, you don't do it. So first of all, shoot, I don't even have half of the stuff I need. I don't know where you're going to get. Well, first of all, I'm going to have to get some typewriter ribbon pretty soon if you got to type this stuff. Then you got to put down how they say what they say. And, well, first of all, I got to read the blasted story. I don't even know what it's about. I don't understand anything. I don't understand why they're doing what they're doing. It's just a bunch of stuff that happens is all. Just can't stand books where you throw in 600,000 characters at the beginning in the first chapter and you can't keep up with all of them. You just bring a character in and he says something. How the heck am I supposed to know? How the heck am I supposed to know how to react, you know? Well, I didn't know that so-and-so was going to be so smart or so dumb or so dastardly or whatever. You just got to guess, you know? If you find that out later on, but how am I supposed to remember all those things that all those people said? Shoot. It's not like I got a photographic memory, shoot. People coming in there people were coming in AP English class like a month ago saying, oh, that King Lear, he's slick. And a few weeks later, it's like, I haven't read it yet. Or I need to read it again. Well, that was Lisa Vaughn, though. She said that King Lear was slick, and now she says she doesn't remember anything that happened, so she's got to read it again, but I don't know. Sorry for all the dumb burping. Guess I better sit up and get some Diet Coke. If you can't find anything to talk about, you might as well find something to make yourself burp. You have to take these 2 burps and put them on a different tape, you know. It's just a stupid door, though. They don't need to be turning around and talking the other way, because you don't like when people can hear what you're saying, you know. Wait, when do we go back? Look at that earthquake. See, they just had an earthquake in California this morning about 5:30. Whole bridge fell down. A 3-story building turned into a 2-story building to the first floor and disappeared. Oh my gosh, he took a nail up his nose. Ooh, look at that. That nail must be 2 inches long. He just stuck that thing up his nose. Now you can only see about 1 centimeter of it. Half a centimeter. He hit it in with a hammer. Pry it out. That is sick. Well, I don't know what that was all about. I'm sorry for wasting your time like this. This tape's already over just about. Might as well be like I've said before. Anyway, I guess I'm going to listen to Head Over Heels when I'm done with this. Of course, I knew that's what I was going to do. I've been excited about that all through this tape, and I haven't been able to think about what I've been saying, so I'm not going to keep this tape, so I don't know where in the world I'm going to tell you about Beethoven's Second and all that. Seems like there was something else we did, though. And besides the fact that it snowed when we went to the movies, we went to Darlene. We watched the movies. I played Mystic Quest. And Ashley asked me to give him the code, to give her the code to take the heart out, you know, out with Kano on Mortal Kombat. And I didn't realize that Josh has a Sega Genesis, so he's been playing the Genesis version. So when I started playing, she asked me, "Where's the blood?" And I said, "Oh, this is the Super Nintendo version. It doesn't have blood." She said, "Well, my brother has a Genesis, so I don't know the code for to take the heart out on Genesis, so I can just look in that magazine and send it to him in the letter, but why would he want to know how to take the heart out? And if you know one finishing move, you gotta know them all, so if he doesn't know any of the finishing moves, how should he? And there's gotta be a reason. You're either gonna ask for all of them, or you're not gonna ask for any, because if you know one, you're gonna know all of them. If they tell you in a magazine, usually, there's no way you can figure out those things by yourself. I know for sure exactly what to do. On Scorpion, I couldn't get him to do that finishing move on Mortal Kombat 2. I was doing that. I couldn't get him to throw the Van Damme spear either. Yeah, I couldn't even make him uppercut for crying out loud. I just could not play that thing. I don't know. If I could have done one of those 3 things, I might have done better. Except for the finishing move, that doesn't really affect the outcome. Wait a minute. Oh, well, look at this table right now, man. Alright, I'll just see if I can get that burp. Oh, man.